from PamGriffithsCoaching.com. I am super excited to be here with you today because I want to share a little something around what's been coming up with the coaching work that I'm doing with my clients and what I'm hearing from a lot of people that I support in the last couple of weeks. And so my topic for today is I want to talk to you about procrastination. And I'm wondering if you have ever procrastinated in your life before. I'm teasing. Of course, I certainly have. And it feels like the times when I procrastinate most is whenever I am maybe unclear about something. And so I need a little bit of percolation time, which is fine. I don't know that really falls under the procrastination umbrella. But when I'm really noticing that I'm not taking intentional action and I am procrastinating, it's often when I am about to embark on a change or tackling something that I've never tackled before. It can feel like, oh my gosh, what's the word for you? Is it scary? What is it? So I want to talk to you about procrastination and really what you can do about it. So the dictionary meaning of procrastination is really about delaying something that must be done, often because it feels unpleasant or boring. Have you ever procrastinated before and felt something was unpleasant? So you didn't do anything about it? Okay, if so, this is a good sign. So people procrastinate for many reasons. I know sometimes it might be around a distraction. So, there's something fun happening over there, so I'm going to just procrastinate on what I really need to do and go have some fun over here. Sometimes it might be around thinking that we have all the time in the world. Do we really know that? Do you really know that you have all the time in the world? We sometimes think that we do, but we really don't, do we? Other people are perfectionists, and so they don't start because it will never be good enough, and so they procrastinate. And others procrastinate because they think of doing something, when they think of doing something that they must do, there is this anxious energy that starts to occur either in the pit of their stomach or maybe a tensing in your shoulders. I don't know if you've ever experienced that before. And so what happens is we then stay in this holding pattern and we stay stuck. And so why do we do this? It's easier to play safe. It's easier to be safe and to not move forward in a big way. And so I want to share with you a little bit more about a little excerpt from my book, as well as some science behind why we procrastinate. And so we want to find out really what's underneath procrastination and how do we overcome it so that you can get out of your own way and start doing the very things that you are meant to do here on this earth. And so once you've learned how to harness procrastination, manage that anxious energy, which often stems from fear, you can kick procrastination to the curb and take courageous action. Sound good? Okay. I want you to just imagine for a moment. Imagine your big goal or something that you've been wanting to take action on or achieve, but you just haven't moved forward. Maybe it's something, maybe it's a course you've been wanting to take. Maybe you've been wanting to hire somebody new, Or maybe you want to get yourself out there in a really big way. When you think of that big goal or that big action that you need to take but are procrastinating, what do you feel? And where do you feel it? So is it something going on in the pit of your stomach? Butterflies? Are you tensing up? What comes up for you as you think about taking a leap of faith? So that's a really good indication. If you are feeling sort of maybe this anxious energy or butterflies or you're tensing up, it's okay. It's totally normal. And it often tells us that we're wanting to step outside of our comfort zone. And so in my best-selling book, Leadership Unleashed, Awaken Your Extraordinary Leadership, on page 72, I talk about the paradox of fear. And I promise this totally links to procrastination. So, you see, we all experience fear. It's inescapable. So that's our reality as humans. But we can actually overcome it, and we can kick procrastination to the curb and take back our power. I say, feel the fear and do it anyway. That's because taking action actually cures the fear. Inaction or procrastination keeps us stuck and further can fuel our fear. So having courage isn't the absence of fear. Having courage is the will to move forward in the face of fear. So feeling the fear and doing it anyway. When we stay in fear and we procrastinate, we become more complacent. And sadly, then our lives don't change. And really, you are here to do some really cool things in the world. And so let's talk about how do we move through that. So it really is fear that is behind procrastination, and that is what keeps us stuck. So let's reframe fear for a moment. What if you thought of fear as the necessary evil, or that it had a purpose in your life? Good news, it's part of our anatomy. And you may have heard me talk about the amygdala in previous Facebook Lives or in our training series, the Coach Approach System. That part of our brain kicks in to protect us when we most need it. So it's okay. Those little anxious warning signs and spikes of adrenaline keep us safe to ensure that if we're hiking up a really steep mountain, we're not going to fall off. So it heightens our awareness. It heightens our senses, and we become more acutely aware of our surroundings. So fear also pushes our boundaries. It calls us forth to step into our courage. And when we do this, only when we do this, we grow. And we step up and face the fear. When we do that, we find more confidence because we have now accomplished something that we may have never accomplished before. We took courageous action on something that's been, percolating in our mind for a long time. I've had clients who shared with me that they waited 2 years. They were thinking about hiring a coach. And they were fearful about making change. And so they stayed stuck in procrastination because they feared change. And in the end, they did it anyway. But we need to take big action in order to feel the fear and move through that fear. So the more confidence we gain through taking action, the easier it is then to overcome our fear. And when we arrive on the other side of fear, we actually realize it wasn't so tough after all. and we have new clarity and confidence to play bigger. We realize that most of our fears are really made up. And we ruminate over and over and over for so long that we begin to believe the stories that we tell ourselves. And so when you feel this building up inside yourself, what exactly is it that you're afraid of? Think about what is the story that you're telling yourself. Because we do tell ourselves stories. We believe certain things, and we fear those stories, send fear signals to our amygdala. Oh my goodness, what if, I can't do this, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I don't have the tools, whatever. We don't like change, and so we stay stuck. So think about, what exactly are you afraid of? I want you to stop, listen, observe the story that you're telling yourself, and find your breath. And breathe through this moment. Okay. So, what did you learn about the thing that's keeping you stuck, about the story that you're telling yourself? And I want to know, are you ready to take big action? What is the worst thing that could happen? What is the best possible outcome if you were to take courageous action today? What's the best possible outcome? Okay, are you ready? You actually hold the key to unlocking your fear and move through procrastination. What courageous action are you ready to take today? That's my inspiration for you today, and I look forward to hearing what courageous action you take. Bye for now.